Alrighty, so continuing with my Terraforming Mars tier list, we're almost done. Just the promos left, and then probably Build 2. But for now, just the promos. And I'm doing for today the micro ones and Arcadian Communities because there's only 3 micro ones. There's 4 tags though. But let's go over the tiers first. So the best, these are corporations that are just broken, probably need to be balanced. Probably won't see any more of those. Always solid, pretty self-explanatory. High company potential are corporations that you can have an okay game if you don't have a hand, but if you have a good hand, then they can be pretty broken, even better than some of the always solid. Playable, also self-explanatory. Needs a hand are corporations that may have a good game with a hand, but like really need a hand to have it, and otherwise are pretty bad. And needs the hand is just like that, but that hand is really unlikely, and then unplayable is just these garbage that you see down here. So let's start with Arcadian Communities. And okay, so what Arcadian Communities does is it places a marker as soon as it enters. It starts with like 40 cash and 10 steel, which is 60 total, which is really nice, and steel cards are good early. And then every turn you get to place a marker. When you tap it next to your marker or one of your tiles, so basically it follows like a greenery placement. And then whenever you place a tile on one of those reserved areas, you gain 3 ME back, which is actually pretty strong. Now, it's just a great combination of abilities. The only thing about Arcadian Communities is that you are 100% like stuck to the ground. There's really no two ways about it. There's no, I mean, you can be annoying and block the other ground player, but if you end up not using the reserve tiles and not picking up your bonuses, then you're just really a weak corp, right? So I can't give it the always solid, but I am gonna give it high combo potential. You just need a few plant tags and you're done. You have the steel for the cities, and I am gonna put it at the top of high combo. Like of all these corporations, like these are ground corps too. Viron needs like a tap card. You just need some plant bread, like just some plant bread, and you're good. And then you're the most annoying corporation in the board, basically, because you can block any other ground corporation, you'll block it and you'll probably win a lot of that battle. And the other good thing is that you don't have to invest into maybe some cities or communities as early. You might want to for milestones, but yeah, you can just block other players, prevent ocean walks and go for a slightly longer game, or simply just mark your territory, place your cities and greeneries, and then eventually you just rush faster because you're picking up your markers at 3 at a time. By the way, the economic bonus is pretty good. Like if you place on all your markers, which you should, you'll get on 10 generations 33 cash back, which is really nice. So like the only reason I'm going on only always solid is because all of these corporations can either go ground or not go ground, basically, right? Again, communities you have to go ground, so it is the best one here, but that's it. Pretty good and pretty fun to play. Now, Recyclon. I think Recyclon is a little underrated. It's actually so what it does is it starts with steel production 38, which is low, microbe tag, and building tag. And then whenever you place a building tag, you can place a microbe, and then you remove 2 microbes for a plant production, which means you can work your way up to 2 or 3 plant production early, which I think it's nice. So I'm gonna go needs a hand below Ecoline. Like it's definitely not as good as Ecoline on the ground, and you need building tags, which are pretty common. So like if you play this base game, it's really good. As the more expansions you add, the worse it gets. Like if it was just base game, I could actually move it to playable, but it is still stuck to the ground too, right? But it's not a bad ability, and you start with some production to play those building tags. And I mean, think about it. Sometimes builder gets claimed by the 8th. You get the 8th tag by the 3rd or 4th generation. Sometimes, if you can get 9 tags by then, and you start with 1, so only 8 additional ones. It's tough, but it's doable. You work yourself up to 3 plant production, which is not bad, right? Even then, it's not the strongest after you do that. You just have 3 plant productions. You're missing like the other half of Ecoline's ability, so it's definitely weaker than Ecoline. But I think it's okay, and it's also very fun. Then Splice. Okay, so Splice. What does Splice do? Splice starts with 44 cash, draws a microbe tag, which could be a terrible card. Let's face it. And then whenever anyone plays a microbe tag, that player gains 2 or a microbe on the card, and then you gain 2. So if you play a microbe tag, you can gain either 4 or 2 on a microbe, and whenever another player plays a microbe tag, you gain 2 and the player gains 2 or a microbe tag. Well, a bit confusing, but either way, microbe tags kinda suck. And so this is I just gotta go needs the hand, and I think it's weaker than Phobolog. I do. It just is. The thing is like what how are you gonna like exploit this? Like what are the best you can play viral enhancers, sure. Maybe decomposers. Maybe one of the few better Venus cards. How many, like what's the most microbe tags you've played in a game? Maybe 4 or 5. And so then you have an eco bonus that gives you 20, or maybe 20, maybe 10 and 2 points. It's terrible. And you do draw one. The starting cash is not terrible. The starting tag is among the weakest. So I mean, even with the hand, it's gonna be pretty underwhelming. Splice is just not good. It is also fun. The promo corps, the player design corps are usually fun. They're very creative, but this one is just underwhelming. This is way too weak, because micro tags are not good. And yeah, I just don't see a way where you see a hand and you go broken with Splice, and chances are you won't. Like chances are you get one micro tag and then you hope the one you draw is also good, and then that's it. You know. So yeah, pretty bad. Moving on, the Pharmacy Union. So the Pharmacy Union is also a weird one. And it's the last one for now. So it starts with 54 and 2 microbe tags. It draws a science tag. Whenever you play a microbe tag, you put a disease token or marker resource, and you lose 4 money. So you're gonna start with 2 diseases and 46 cash, right? Because of your 2 microbe tags. And then whenever you play a science tag, you remove a disease token and you get a terraforming rating. And if you are out of science tags, you just gain 3 terraforming rating. Sorry, if you're out of disease tokens when you play a science tag, you just gain 3 terraforming rating and flip the card over, which only means like basically you don't do anything else with it. And so there are basically 2 ways to look at this one. You can either try and play it only if you have 3 science tags in hand, and then you play those and you start the game with up 5 TR, which is really good. It's not broken, but it's really good. And if you get some preludes, you're drawing a science tag. It's not that rare. Or you can try and exploit the bonus as much as possible and play a few additional microbes and get some more TR. Like 4 for a TR is really good. So like if you can play a microbe tag and then a science tag, it's really good. And as the game goes on, you'll see way more science tags than you see microbe tags. So like you'll probably be able to flip it even if you play it like that, if you extend it. But either way, I think this needs the hand. Like 3 science tags. It starting with 5 TR is strong. It's gonna be stronger than Phobolog. It's gonna be way stronger than Splice. But the other thing is that once you flip it, you are out of abilities, right? Like there's nothing else there for you. And I know there's nothing in the game that gives you 3 TR or 5 TR to begin with, but also playing 3 science tags to begin the game is really hard. And you can't use wild tags, by the way, so you're relying on the few preludes that have science tags and on the few more playable science tags early. So it's not that hard to do it early. It's eventually good, but just not that good. It's probably the best one here. I could move it up maybe 1 tier, but I won't. It's just really unreliable, and it's like you'll see you almost never play this because it's just hard to see a hand where you go, okay, this is the one. But yeah, anyway, only 4 to go, but yeah, that's it for my video. Let me know what you think, and see you next time.